Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Couch Critics, the show where Dave and I get lucky and get to talk to some filmmakers and star and actresses. Today is a great day because we're going to interview some people. But first, I'm your co-host Josh, alongside, as always.
It's me, Dave. How's it going, my man? How you doing?
Man, it's good. I'm excited about our interview today.
Yeah.
This
We both
episode,
watched their movie,
we did.
Everything Fun You Could Possibly Do in Aledo, Illinois. I know it's a
Yep,
very long title, but
it
it's
is a lot of.
memorable
Yeah,
that way.
it is.
It is
It
on
is.
Prime, all these other things.
Yep.
It's a great little, it's a great movie that Mel and I loved.
Yes,
So
Jennifer
I'm
and I did
excited
too.
to talk about it.
Um,
And
and I caught you said little and you caught yourself, but it's
it
little in
is,
the good
it's
way.
a
It's a
small
quaint
town.
movie. It's a small
Yeah.
town. It's a small cast. It's a quaint movie. So it's not little in the derogatory sense.
Mel and I were going through and we were discussing like the different things that we liked about it. And, I was kind of taking some notes and some
Mhm.
preparation for this. I've seen it twice now.
Yeah.
But anyways, in that I found myself, I kept saying like, it's a cute, and then she goes, don't say cute. I'm like, all right, yeah, you're right. I don't want to say it's a cute movie.
Right.
That's reductive. That's not what we're about.
Yeah.
Like it's a great, piece about relationships and
Mhm.
friendships and small towns and
And
living up to
yeah.
expectations and stuff. It's
And
funny too. God, it's funny.
somehow life always coming full circle and
Yeah,
those full circle
and
moments. It's
finding out who you are.
yeah, the real you.
We'll get into
We'll
all
get into
that,
all
but
that.
that's
Um,
definitely something I've been watching. But what
yeah.
have you been watching, my man?
What have I been watching, apart from this? And as we always do in our prep work, I watched some short film stuff that, some
Oh,
other work that
yeah.
the ladies did,
Yep.
a little more on the depressing side, the the waiting on an execution,
Oh
that
yeah.
some a
Well,
little more dark,
and we're
but
going to talk to Bethany Berg, who's the writer, director, and
mhm,
editor of the
yeah,
project, and then Sarah
Sarah,
Savini
mhm,
and
Jennifer
Jennifer,
Eslin,
Eslin, and all of them are great
mhm,
people that they did some great work in this
yeah,
movie. I do want to say one of the things is Mel and I spent about 4.5 hours watching.
yeah,
Sarah Savini has a YouTube channel.
mhm,
Corey and Sarah are famous. It's her and a writing partner, I think, or some
yeah,
collaborator she's had for a long
mhm,
time. Anyways, they're very funny.
yeah.
Mel watched at least 4.5 hours of them yesterday.
I love it.
It felt like it was forever, but I was enjoying them, so it wasn't,
Yeah,
But
it
anyways,
wasn't bad.
that dominated where I would normally have like I've been watching all these movies. No,
Yeah,
I've been
well,
watching a lot of
I
YouTube shorts.
yeah. Yeah, so and very similar, I because this has kind of encompassed a lot of what I've been watching and prepping around, the
Yeah.
only real thing that I've been watching this week is, I am halfway through the first 4 episodes of the 8-episode season of, excuse me, the new series, The Burbs.
Oh, that's on Peacock or something like
Peacock, it is
that.
on Peacock, the
Right.
modern reimagining,
Well, you love the
this
movie,
I do,
and
I
I do too.
love Joe Dante,
Joe
love the
Dante,
movie.
yeah.
This one is they hit a lot of the same beats, so there's a lot of stuff in there to like for the fanboy, they do the fan service stuff, but it is a wholly new, unique story. It just has a lot of the similar
Kiki
beat.
Palmer, I think, is the lead, right?
Keke Palmer is the lead, Jack Whitehall plays her husband, Julia Duffy, who most people are gonna be familiar of our age are gonna be familiar of she was the maid in, Newhart.
Oh, newer. Yeah,
Newhart,
okay, Julia Duffy, yep.
um, and
But blonde,
Paula
little short
Pell
blonde. Yeah.
who's
Oh,
everywhere right
Paula
now.
Pell is, so amazing.
She is
Like, she's
hilarious, and
part of that, Second City, Saturday Night
yes,
Live, 30
yeah,
Rock, Tina Fey, that cluster
yeah,
of people
and
making
then
some great
I
comedy.
can and I can never remember his name, but, remember the guy
Robert Redford,
no, yes, him too.
Anton Chagrin. No, keep on. Sly Stallone. I'm just
No,
trying to help you out here. I'm just trying to help.
I gotta figure his the
Garrett Graham.
I for some I'm conflating Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but he's the one that Mike Ehrmantraut is going to work as his bodyguard, and he ends up getting all flashy and the big yellow Humvee and everything.
Oh, what is that guy's name? He's, What We Do in the Shadows
Yeah,
and,
I feel
a bunch
bad
of
I
other
don't
stuff.
remember his name, but
How dare you, sir?
he's
Let's just
in The
call him that
Burbs.
guy. Got it. Oh,
That
he
guy,
is, okay.
he's in The Burbs, and he plays this awkward, hilarious character, so far. Like, I love Keke Palmer, I love, um, Julia Duffy, Paula Pell, and everybody, but him particularly, because he's got this awkward weirdness. Mark
Yeah. I
Proch
told
in
you. Duh.
you knew it all along. No,
It's better if
I
you earn it, if
he's
you get
really
it on your
funny.
own,
Yeah, he's
I
really
just give it
funny.
to you.
But, yeah, so that's what I've been watching, probably gonna finish watching or at least watch 2 more episodes tonight.
Does it
Uh,
follow the movie? Like, is it still kinda the general concept, or is it,
uh,
um,
it's in this similar to the movie, it's in the suburbs,
in the
there is
universe?
the creepy house in the neighborhood, and
Got it.
something bad may or may not have happened at that house,
Is
and
Colin Hanks in it? Not Tom, but Colin?
but
How about
Tom
Chet?
Hanks
Is Chet Hanks in it?
no,
Is he in
no
there?
chance. No, but Tom Hanks does have a technical appearance in the movie.
Okay,
He's it is a drawing of Tom Hanks. He's the founder of Hinkley Hills, where the show
okay.
takes place. So they have that little homage to Tom right there. And
Yeah.
Wendy Shaw, who plays Bruce Dern's character's wife in the original Burbs, has a
Yeah.
role in this as a
Famously does a lot of
librarian.
voice work. Yep.
Lot of voice work she does. Yeah, she works with, American Dad.
Yeah.
Most It's her, like, her biggest thing,
Yeah.
or most
Great.
humorous thing.
Which is, one of the better
Yeah,
cartoons out there. For me, I
but anyways,
personally like it a lot.
so far, I'm really liking it. It follows the tone very well, and it's just silly enough and just dark enough that it just so far, halfway through, holds up very well.
Hmm.
What have
I
you been watching?
I have a couple of things I watched. I'll just briefly mention a couple. These usually it's nice if I have something that has any relation to what we're talking about. They really don't. First,
It's
I did
fine.
watch a 1941 movie called Honky Tonk with Clark Gable and Lana Turner.
Mhm,
I've been meaning to watch it for a long time. It's a neat little movie about a con man, and forgetting the new modern
mhm,
political spectrum and everything else, it feels very topical for the moment. But
yeah,
anyways, fun little movie.
mhm,
Not the best of the Clark Gable films I've seen,
yeah,
but anyways, it's a good and it's worth a watch. He's great in it. It's got a really big, solid cast of people behind him. But the other thing
mhm.
I watched, which is a little pretentious, but Akira Kurosawa, which
Okay.
anytime you start a sentence with
Like,
that, it
"Ooh."
sounds cinephile, film geeky, and pretentious all at the same time, all wrapped up in one. But his last film that he did was Madadadayu. Madadadayu. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyways, it's
Mhm,
basically it would be a call and response answered in
mhm.
translation to somebody saying, "Are you ready to go? Like, are you ready to die?" And the answer
Oh,
is, "I'm not ready yet," or "Not ready yet." And
mhm.
that's what that
Okay.
means. But anyways, it's pretty long. It's 2.5 hours. It is again the last film of the brilliant Akira Kurosawa. It came out in 1993, but the whole thing is about relationships that he's a teacher and the relationships he has with his students for his entire life.
Mhm,
The only reason I mention it is it does, the movie, we're going to
mhm.
talk about the Aledo movie, Everything Fun You Could Possibly Do in Aledo, Illinois,
Yeah,
is also a movie about lifelong friendships
yeah,
and coming home, and has that sense of warmth and heart to it. This one does as well. It's the very last scene in the movie is a painting of a skyline that was
mhm,
painted by Akira Kurosawa. It's the very last shot that he filmed. So it was the film geek in me. I watched
yeah,
it mostly for that reason. Would I
sure.
watch it again? Nah, probably not. Would I say other people should watch it? Only if they're a cinephile or an
Right,
Akira Kurosawa fan. But it is good. The
okay.
performances are good. All of that stuff. And
Mhm.
it's anyways, but I think because we're both so excited about
Yes,
talking to our
this
guests today,
yeah,
the director, writer, editor, and the two lead stars who are
yes,
fantastic and hilariously
fantastic.
funny of everything fun you could possibly do in Aledo,
Yeah,
Illinois. I'm going to
yeah.
keep saying it so I
Keeps
never
it yeah,
forget a single.
get it into your head.
I like
It's
calling it just
again
Aledo, but I don't. I think that's
it's
again
on Amazon
reductive.
Prime.
Hmm.
Everybody should check it out because it really is just a sweet, fun movie. It
Yeah.
just is, and we need that sometimes, especially in the world we live in. Everything is polarized. This isn't.
Yeah,
So and the
especially if you
soundtrack
feel
is a lot of
lost.
fun. The soundtrack
Yeah.
is actually a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
So and
It's,
I'm not a
su
coun I wanna highlight that because 'cause I'm not a big country fan in general, but
same. I like folk,
this has
though.
this has
It
a folk tinge to it, so it
This is
feels
more a Brother or Out Thou,
yeah,
soundtrack
precise.
and
Yeah,
score, rather than like a,
yes.
all the
I'm not listening
president
to a
or
Garth
all
Brooks
the
CD.
president's men, all the Pretty
All the Pretty
Horses
Horses.
soundtrack. Yeah, not all
All
the
the
president's
President's
men.
Men.
All the president's men does not have
It's
Travis
all
Tritt on it.
twangy. It's all
I don't know.
twangy.
But anyways,
Uh,
I digress, as I like to
yeah,
say. Garrett Graham, all those fun things.
all
We
those
should
fun
get to
things.
our interview and
Let's
talk
get
to
to our interview. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the ladies from Aledo,
the
Illinois.
ladies of Aledo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Couch Critics. And today is a special one because we are joined by three incredible women behind one of the most charming new indie films making waves right now. Everything fun you could possibly do in Aledo, Illinois. First up, we have director and co writer Bethany Berg, a fearless indie storyteller with a sharp eye for character driven comedy and a heartfelt small town authenticity. Bethany brings humor and honesty together in a way that feels deeply personal and refreshingly real. And this film is proof of that. We're also joined by actress Jennifer Eslin, whose career spans television, film, and voice work. She brings warmth, nuance, razor sharp comedic timing to every role she touches, and her performance here is no exception. And rounding out our panel is actress Sarah Savini, a dynamic performer known for her grounded presence and emotional depth. In this film, she helps capture the awkward, hilarious, and painfully relatable moments of figuring yourself out in a town where everybody knows your business. Everything fun you could possibly do in Aledo, Illinois is a witty, heartfelt indie about friendship, identity, and that strange magic of small town life. And we're going to dive into it all today. So let's get into it. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for
Welcome.
coming and hanging out with us.
I think
Thank you
some of
for
your
having
bios got a little jumbled, but the recording will come out well. So, anyways, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here with us. I'm
Thank
super
you. Thanks
excited
for
to have
having
you
us.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So let's just go like round robin. Bethany, start us off. Tell us a little bit about you, your journey. I believe this is your first directing your first film.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Tell us about your journey.
Yeah, so I started directing, I guess you could say, in high school. I started making videos,
Mhm.
little movies and stuff. I don't know if I would call them, you know, anything special.
Yeah.
But I definitely started making stuff, like then, and then I went to college and I studied art and I studied English literature, but was making movies on the side so much that I ended up minoring in that as well. And then I went to Chicago where the Second City had a film school called the Harold Ramis Film School, and I ended up going there specifically for comedy film. And kind of went wanting to just write, but then discovered very quickly that I preferred directing to writing even. I mean, I
Mhm.
like doing both, but to me, that was like kind of my niche. And then made a bunch of short films, helped produce some short films, AD'd some stuff,
Mhm.
and did a lot of side jobs, odd jobs to
Mhm.
pay my rent, a lot of nanny, a
Oh yeah.
lot of working at mortgage companies. Um, and then kind of moved on to like doing writing and advertising as well. Um, and then while I was working at an ad agency, Christina, the producer of this movie,
Mhm.
approached me and asked if I would want to work on this with her. And I used my vacation time and we shot it in Aledo. So I'm very
Awesome.
happy with how it turned out, very happy to be here,
Yeah.
and the journey is ongoing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Stops.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sarah, tell us about your journey.
Uh, I I came up I came to Second City, right after college. I started as an intern there,
Mhm.
and then I went through their training congress, and then I had my own theater company in the '90s when Storefront in Chicago really kind of exploded. It was a really wonderful time to be a part of the Chicago theater scene, and still is.
Mhm.
But it was a great time when I was at that age, coming up to that. And then uh, went equity and started working in theater, and then was really lucky enough to be able to start working on television and film,
Wow.
have a nice little indie life that I adore because that's
Mhm.
really You get to meet people when they're at their most creative because
Mhm.
you have bare bones, right? So it's really
Yeah.
about the story and about the people and about the relationships and not about all the other bells and whistles that you get on when you get
Mhm.
to be lucky enough to be on something like
Yeah.
Empire, which we also have.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have that both, right? And so
Mhm.
being able to be a part of something like this is really
Mhm.
always e- exciting and
Yeah.
something that you're looking for projects that can resonate and can connect. And uh, Second City being a big part of this, and improv being a
Mhm.
big part of this
Yeah.
project specifically, was really, really attractive to me when it was approached for the audition,
Yeah.
and knowing that they had come out of the film school, and that Harold is
Yeah.
one of my relatives. So we had there was
Oh.
just a lot of like really beautiful signs that was
Yeah.
pointing towards being a part of this production. And then meeting Jen, she's one of the best improvisers in the entire universe. And so walking in and being able to, yeah, total fangirl. I was really nervous walking into the audition because I was like, oh my God, she's so good. And so then to be able to just go to toe with her and be in that space is just
Yeah.
total validation of an entire capsulation of what Chicago means. And
Mhm.
yeah, so it's a huge, wonderful project that I was a part of.
That's
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
me.
Awesome. And Jennifer?
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and then came to Chicago to go to Northwestern for undergraduate. I say that as if I went to graduate. I didn't. Um, and I
Mm.
left. I left there and started doing other stuff. And one of the things I tried was doing improv at Second City, and ended up touring with them, and then being on a couple of the resident stages, one here in Chicago and one out in Las Vegas. That was a
Wow.
trip. And I went to New York and lived there for a little while, and then ended up back in Chicago working with a theater company called The Annoyance, which I had originally worked with before I had left for New York,
Mhm.
and ended up becoming executive producer and owner of The Annoyance.
Yeah. Oh.
And I still do that now, and am lucky enough to work with tons of people who are just coming up through Chicago theater and
Mhm.
learning their craft and finding their voice, and I get to help make their vision come true on our stage.
Awesome.
And then I also always try to keep my foot in the puddle of independent film because I love it
Mm.
so much. Same
Yeah.
reason Sarah said. It's just incredible that you get to work with people who really, really, really care about what they're doing,
Yeah.
and you don't always get that.
Awesome. So now that the movie is out there, you're doing all these weird little podcasts and other press type things. How are you guys, and anyone can answer, this is for everyone. How are you feeling now that the film is really out there in the world?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, it's bizarre because I feel like we did it kind of long ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So people,
2023? Is that right?
right?
20,
Yeah,
yeah.
something. I think it was 2023.
Yeah.
So like people are asking me questions, and I'm like, I don't really remember, but I do. It is coming back.
Yeah.
Like process of it and everything. But it's just nice that like it feels kind of like we put a lot of hard work in early, and then there was like
Mhm.
a bit of a waiting period, and now
Sure.
people are finally getting to see it, which is great. Because it
Yeah.
means my
Yeah.
family can stop asking me questions. Me.
Proof of concept, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I love it.
And it also shows that the story is kind of timeless, when
Yeah.
you talk
Yeah.
about friendship and when you talk about these kind, I mean, these, it's anybody anywhere, right? It's
Mhm.
really, it's universal, and that's what resonates. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a blink of an eye, but it was also, yeah, 2023. So
Right.
it's an interesting thing.
I mean, everybody's got a hometown. Everybody's got friends that
Yeah.
they've lost contact with.
Mhm.
Everybody rekindles those friendships at times. Where did Aledo come in? I mean, why did you pick Aledo?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, so Christina, the producer of the movie, she has family in Aledo, and she
Okay.
spent a lot of summers there. And so one of
She had an
the
in.
Yeah, she had an in. She had an in.
Mhm.
And Suzy Boggess, who I'm sure we'll talk about later,
Yeah.
the singer who contributed to the movie, she's from
Yeah.
Aledo, and that was part of it as well. So there was just a lot of like signs pointing
Mhm.
to Aledo. And it's also just like a really interesting town to
Yeah.
photograph. And it was yeah, it was kind of like a little gift that fell in our lap.
Yeah.
It also
Yeah.
feels kind of like a film set the
Yeah.
town itself.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
walk around and you feel like this.
It's a
How is this
character.
real? And it is
Yeah.
real. It is. It's a character in the film for sure.
Yeah.
Because
That's
it is.
Yeah.
Bella and I both grew up in Southern
Yeah.
Oregon. I came from a little town called Medford. It's not as small as Aledo. We don't have a rhubarb festival, but we do have like the pear run and all these things. So
Yes.
I understand all of that.
Mhm.
When I go
Yeah.
back there, I do understand that homecoming kind of
Yeah.
thing. There's cruising on Friday nights there. Like I
Mhm.
connected with all of those elements to
Yeah.
this, even though the town, I 60,000 people as opposed to I think 4,500 for Aledo, something
Yeah.
like that.
Something little.
But I think it's a great character to bring into the movie for everybody to
Right.
interact with, and I don't know, but
And
to
the
tell your
Gabby
story.
Dave and I are very much like the Gabby characters. We're the ones who got away
Left,
from
yeah.
we left Aledo and we're like, "Man, do I have to go back? I guess I gotta go
Yeah.
visit the
But
family and do
nobody
the
misses
thing."
me when I go back to Medford. They
Right,
don't,
it's not
you know, they
right.
couldn't care less. They don't
They
even
don't, they
remember
don't.
me.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
So
I
there's
mean,
that thing when you feel
yeah.
lost, right? And when you
Yeah.
Yes.
don't know where to go, where do you go?
Yeah.
You go
Yeah. Oh,
home.
yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
It's always going to bring you back to your roots. And that's, I think,
Mhm.
in my opinion, not to jump too far ahead into this, but I think
Yeah.
change is the whole thing. Brenda's
Mhm.
character doesn't, I don't know if there was ever talk about you lost your husband in the movie, the character did. I don't know how long ago that had been, but it seems like both Gabby and Brenda are going through this, their lives are changing and there's a
Mhm.
metamorphosis happening all around them and they're starting to look, and then they rekindled all of that friendship, reconnecting with each other, also kind of like figuring out
Yeah.
who they are because they were always somebody else. Like Gabby was being the personality that people
Yeah.
expected of her, and Brenda's character was always kind of paired with somebody else and associated with this, wasn't her own,
Mhm.
standing on her own feet, and all that stuff is amazing. It speaks to me. So anyways, I
Mhm.
don't know if there's a
Yeah.
question there. I just wanted to say I think it's amazing. I really love
Oh,
the
go on.
movie.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No,
Anyway.
but there's something great that you
It's
learn
true though
about.
that
Oh, go ahead, Jennifer.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's true what you're saying, just the idea that you go through different stages, and in
Mhm.
one stage maybe you're defined by what you're doing, and in another you're defined by who you're with and the friend that
Yeah.
you have, and or at least you feel like you're defined that way, and then you kind of have to figure out what about that is real and what's you and what
Mhm.
is really belongs to the other person or
Yeah.
what belongs to the both of you.
Yeah, and I liked right off the bat when Gabby gets to town, we meet Gabby and, like,
Fabulous, Gabby.
Hmm?
She's fabulous.
She's
You
fat.
She's
No,
know.
but
fabulous.
we meet her
She is
and
fabulous.
no,
She is
but you
fabulous.
learn
She is very full of herself.
Yeah.
she is, but she's also but right away she's dealing with something that just gets pieced out to us a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's kind of the a-hole guy that's wherever he's at now, that he's making things difficult on her, and
Husband number 3.
yes, husband
Yeah.
number 3.
Mhm.
But I love that even through all this that she puts on a facade for the town, but she has some agency over this and she's making decisions for herself. And I really like that it wasn't just it's a fully formed three-dimensional character. There was so much more going on other than just the one that ran out of town and came back. So was that's where the question comes in. Was that written in the script or did you bring that to the character, Sarah? Where did that come from?
First of all, thank you for
Yes.
that. And I think that it was kind of a combination of both. I think that and that was what was so fun about the collaboration of all of us. We
Mhm.
we kind of got to know who Gabby was becoming, and so
Yeah.
she was allowed to be written with the ability to
Mhm.
have some of that depth, right? So that she
Yeah.
could put on facade in front of certain people, but then also
Mhm.
show vulnerability and when she thought that she was alone, all of those different things,
Mhm.
because that's what happens, when
Yeah.
we make choices and we go, and then we want people to have this perception of who we
Yeah.
are, and if
Right.
that's not real, we do whatever we can to be able to
Yeah.
make that
Present that
happen, right?
image.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least
and we
keep
also
the
have a false
facade. Yeah.
correct, and we have a false
Mhm.
idea of the relationship that we have with Brenda too. We
Yeah.
have no idea the hurt that we've caused her. In
Yeah.
Right.
we feel guilty about just being flighty, but not
Mhm.
about what we truly
Right.
the
The
impact that we
Yeah.
Yeah.
have on other people. And so that is all was really fun to just be able to
Right.
explore.
Yeah. And I love that so Gabby Gabby has to learn to maybe grow up a little bit, but then Brenda, on your side, Jennifer, you get to kind of become a kid again as the movie goes on. You become a little more free spirited and fun. How was that? Like, you're the stodgy kind of stuck in my ways person, and you get to get a little freer and freer as the story goes. What was that like? Just
It was
putting on the band uniform and running through town, like, just it's hilarious.
I loved it too. I
She's
loved it
Oh
too.
man,
beaming. She's
that was so
beaming.
fun to shoot that.
Yeah.
It was really fun to play with that
Mhm.
and to really have to kind of like even physically just keep track of uh the character as she sort of came out of
Mhm.
this shell and this
Yeah.
almost like prison-like shell that was of her own making in a lot of ways.
Right.
And to sort of like each little thing that we would do, even if it was just going to the diner with my
Mhm.
hair undone and all that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
was like, dipping your toe and then putting your toe in a little bit further and now your
Yeah.
foot's in and oh my God, this is fun.
You
Mhm.
jump in.
And
Yeah.
it was so fun to do that. And then we shot that band shell scene. I
Mhm.
was truly, as Jennifer, very nervous about that because it was we had to do it really in one time and
Mhm.
one take, and the festival was happening, so it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just like, okay, you're gonna get up there and you're really gonna like these people are gonna be looking at you and they don't know what's going on and you're
Right.
gonna
Oh,
just take over the band show.
oh,
So that was
so
really
the
fun. And
audience reactions are
when
real?
I said
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
yeah, when I said give me an A and they did, I was so delighted. I was just like, oh my God, it's working.
They're
Wonderful.
improving.
I love that. I love it.
Like you can't plan that. Like you
Yeah.
can't plan what
It
happens.
was
No,
awesome.
yeah.
It was, by the way, crazy we did that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was a real, I mean, we, like, the way we
It was
shot it was
raining too.
very,
Wasn't it about to rain?
yeah, it was about to rain. And the way we shot it was like, that was one of the most complicated things
Ugh.
to get. Cause it was
Yeah.
like, we shot her close up a different day and then we shot her actually doing it. And then we
Mhm.
turned around, we got the audience. We had to go up to people individually and be like, will you do
We
this?
we smile at the camera. We
Yeah,
turn and nod.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we would like feed them the lines and it was like
100%.
very
Yeah.
logistically complicated. Probably if not the most, the second most logistically complicated scene of the movie
Yeah.
to shoot. And it looks great.
It
It
does.
does. The characters in the town itself is a character, but
So
each of the individual people, I
yeah.
can't remember the guy's name who runs the motel, like these
Yes.
people
Yeah.
all are identified. They remind me of so many
You
people
know
that I
people.
know from my own
Yeah.
town and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Was it hard to get all these people involved, or were there people champing at the door trying to get in to say, I want to be in this, I want to be a part of this?
It
Yeah.
wasn't really, we kind of just asked people, like Josh, he actually owns the motel and we
Yeah.
needed a motel owner. And we were like, would you do this? You are the actual motel owner. And he did.
And bring your
Um,
daughter.
And his
Yeah.
daughter
And the
actually did
cat.
not want to be in it at first, and we respected
Oh.
that. But then, like, we gave her a line,
Mhm.
and she was like, "I don't really want to say it." And then she said it, like, and we got it on like the final take, and it
But she
was.
didn't. She was making fun of the way her dad was saying his line. She was so upset about the way he was doing it.
Like
then
any
she
good
was like-
teenager would, like every
Was she-
teenager would.
Totally. So then all of a sudden she was like, I can do this. And she started saying the line. And it was hilarious. As I was, so Gabby was laughing, but that was Sarah. I
Yeah.
was,
You were laughing.
could not stop with that. It
Right.
was so fun.
That little girl was
Yeah.
so cute.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Not a little girl anymore either.
Right.
She's a teenager now, and that like kitten is now a cat, which is.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, everybody in the movie except for Jennifer and Sarah and Eddie and Max, who plays the real estate agent, they're
Mhm.
all people in the town, like
Yeah.
Real townsfolk.
just real town folk who we
The
would just
bar.
ask them. Oh, yeah, oftentimes it's like they
Yeah.
like owned the establishment that we were shooting in, or
Yeah.
were somehow
Yeah.
connected to it, and we just kind of asked them, and they were mostly so game. I don't think anybody wasn't really.
No. Like,
Um,
didn't you notice that guy playing darts? And you're like, hey,
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
would
I
you-
was like,
Yeah.
we need a guy. We're down a player. I mean, that was a lot of it. Was like, and also, by the way, the guy who played the real estate agent was
Mhm.
our first AD.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
awesome.
we
He's
also like, he's so good, and we had to add another character And I was like, we need another guy. It was like so much of it was just like, we're down a player. We need
Like
another
the
body,
see
somebody
your
to say
pants
a
kind of stuff.
line.
Yeah.
And we just kind of were like, who's around us that we can grab? And like, luckily, like we were such a small crew. I think it helped people feel really relaxed. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like there was huge lights in people's
Steven
faces.
Spielberg production, 400
Right,
people and
right.
Yeah.
It was
taking
just
over the
kind of like,
town.
yeah, it was just like us and a camera, and we knew people by then, so we'd be like, hey, could you do this? And
Yeah.
like kept it chill. So if they messed up, it was like, it's okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like, let's go
Right.
again.
Yeah.
Nope.
So we kept
The
it
spirit
loose.
of the town is also so much like that. Like the mayor works full time at the gas station.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
Love
right. I
that.
forgot about
Yeah,
that. I
That is
forgot
awesome.
that.
that makes sense. That's it. That's the town I was picturing. And
Yeah.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of color filled in with all of those different people. It
Yes.
rounds everything out, and it gives it a feeling of reality, which I think
And
helps with the warmth factor. You know.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's something to be said about the way that, Bethany, the way you directed amateurs, like not even amateurs, like non-actors, because nobody comes across as not real. Even the townsfolk, I know they're just playing themselves, but as somebody who sits in front of a camera, it's not easy to even just be yourself on camera.
Yeah.
It gets you did a great job getting real performances out
Reactions
of
and
not
yeah.
like non-professionals, not even amateurs, like people who are just like, oh yeah, I'll do that, sure, why not? That's
Well, thanks. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, it was that was like a challenge. I will say, like, I think, well, Jennifer and Sarah are both like expert improvisers, so that helps.
Yeah.
yes.
Because they are used to
Rolling with it.
interacting.
Yeah.
Yep, rolling with the punches. And two, like, yeah, I think it was a lot of just like, I'm never I don't like to pressure people to say the dialogue exactly how it's written. Oftentimes I'll just have them say it in their own words, and then I'll be monitoring and be like, okay, actually we do need it said this way
Right.
specifically because of something in the
Sure.
story or the plot. But like,
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel as natural coming from them as possible. And I also wanted them to feel comfortable to make mistakes. So we would do it, a few times, and I would just kind of let them know, like, it's okay. We're not in a rush. There's
Yeah.
no pressure. And just like make sure the environment was like as comfortable for them as
Right.
possible. And I wanted to create an environment where it felt like this is exciting and it's something like almost like a class project we're doing together.
Yeah.
And I think that helped people as well kind of get in the right spirit.
Right.
Hey, that leads to my question. There's a lot of it feels like there's a lot of off the page work, like a lot of out of ad-libbing material and improvising material and stuff like that. Would you say a substantial amount of the actual lines and everything else were as written or some form? I guess the question is, I absolutely love, my wife and I love the dictionary joke about whatever the handsome guy is in town, and his name was Webster, right? And she goes, it's probably because of the dictionary. We laughed so hard at that line. And I got to imagine that's a written line, but I don't know. Jennifer, did you come up with that, or was that in the script?
And my reaction was absolutely real.
It's such a good line. It's such a good line. My wife and I still quote it to each other.
That's awesome.
As we speak right now.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To what you're saying though, Bethany, with the having two experts at the yes and the whole idea of improv, so Gabby and Brenda aren't going to be fazed by if somebody says a line the wrong way. They're going to be able to yes and it and continue it going. So that actually makes a lot of sense from my
It feels
3
natural.
days of improving in my life. Like I
Well, it would be a lot of intros and outros that would be different, right? So like the meat of the scene was always pretty established because there was plot points that needed to happen. And so what Bethany would do was sometimes she would give us, like a different energy to resonate within this, or she would give each of us secrets to play if it was like a bigger scene.
Yeah.
But it was really like the beginnings and the ends, or finding windows, because both Jennifer and I are really good at, if somebody's saying something, being that best friend that does the aside, right? Because that's a normal thing. And sometimes you just can't write that. Sometimes that just kind of happens in the moment. And Bethany allowed us to play in those spaces.
Yeah.
That aids in the chemistry, because the chemistry between the two characters is so organic. It was hard to believe that you guys hadn't been lifelong friends. And credit to the writing and it's credit to both of you.
Mhm.
Which is, I guess, answering the same question you just said, which is a lot of that was being able to put all this in your own voices,
Yeah,
and it comes through. I
for
honestly
sure.
think these characters have some of the best chemistry I've seen on screen in a very long time.
Oh my God,
Just want
thank
to throw
you.
that out there.
Yeah.
It seems very natural, and that's very. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And so going with that back to the writing, Bethany, so you're a co-writer. This was somebody else's idea they brought to you. When it was brought to you, was it always for a full length motion picture? Was it originally going to be a short? What was that process like?
Yeah, so they brought the story as a full-length idea. The script was not done yet, but we knew that we wanted it to be in Aledo. I think it
Mhm.
was like maybe half the script was done. We actually ended up changing like most of it, I would
Mm.
say, because a lot of it was like for production feasibility, where
Yeah.
it was like
Right.
there was a scene, I think the original script started like it was like a scene at Rhubarb Fest and like there was multiple characters all interacting with each other. And I was like,
Mhm.
well, we can't do that. We don't,
Yeah.
we don't have the budget for more than 3 actors. And
Mhm.
we like just thinking about how we would have to shoot Rhubarb Fest, I knew that we would like the amount of time we had there was very limited.
Yeah.
So we
That's
had
a
to figure
set. Yeah.
right.
But
It's like a big set piece. So it's like the only
Mhm.
thing that we shot at Rhubarb Fest that was like really a scene was Jennifer crashing the stage.
Yeah.
And everything else is basically like B-roll that we
Yeah.
got. And then we added in, we discussed with the writer about like doing the bucket list. And then eventually like we sort of took the script and like wrote, I would say, most of the scenes and added in dialogue,
Mhm.
all the jokes, the sheriff we added in, the real estate agent, um, the story about the house, like
Mhm.
basically everything you're seeing that's not like the story of 2 women living in Aledo was
Yeah.
like written by me and Christina.
Yeah.
yeah.
And a lot of it was us just like riffing funny ideas, like the scene where they're in the jail and the sheriff comes
Mhm.
out. Like we
Yeah.
wrote that thing beat by beat, but then it's like there was things that, like Jennifer and Sarah would add in and riff and like then we would add that in too.
Mhm.
So there was a lot of like collaboration and just like choosing whatever was the funniest
Yeah.
thing and like letting that kind of be what we was in the
Mhm.
movie. And
Right.
like honestly, even in the edit finding stuff
Yeah.
too. There was a lot of stuff planned for the edit, like jokes planned for the edit, but then there was stuff we found in there
Mhm.
as well. So it was a lot of like allowing ourselves to kind of be led by the muse,
Yeah.
Right.
quote
It
unquote.
and as Bethany is saying that, I just have to point out that that is so rare, and we were so blessed by that, by Bethany and Christina allowing the play to happen. Like in the scene in the jail, Eddie,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the actor Eddie sat down in that
Mhm.
chair and like started rolling, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And so we thankfully adjusted how to shoot it so that he could roll in and out of the frame and stuff, and it
Yeah.
was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, sometimes you'll work with directors and or producers who are like, well, I didn't think of that, so I don't want it to be there.
Rigid.
Mhm.
And it was just so beautifully collaborative, and that was a real treat.
Yeah. That sheriff is a great character.
He's
Oh,
oh,
so funny.
Your
he's so
two
good.
characters are phenomenal. You guys are brilliant. I feel the heart and the comedy with you guys, but that character is just all
Well, he had to
Barney
be the
Fife.
straight man,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah,
he's got the
exactly.
hardest improvising character of all because he's got to deal with both of us
Mhm.
bombarding him with things and then and
Yeah.
react to it. He is an amazing improviser. Period.
Yeah.
He Dave
And
said
funny as
what
hell.
my thoughts. So he is very much he is 100% a Barney Fife.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
every the it's not, but it's the suit, the sheriff's uniform is 2 sizes too big. Everything's just like he's out of his depth. It's not that, but he is
He's
like
so
he's just
young. It
trying.
just
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
it's so funny.
He's on
So
top of like it doesn't
yeah,
make
Yeah.
sense.
it
What is he
doesn't.
Brenda
doing?
Takes
Brenda
his job very
babysat him.
seriously.
Yeah, he
Yes,
does.
good. Yeah.
That would like that like I would it's funny, like he would kind of talk to me about stuff and I'd be like, you just take your job really seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was like the direction. Like it's a very
Yeah.
serious job for you. It's the most serious job. Don't
Yeah.
listen to these girls. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like Yeah.
That's
He's their
perfect.
foil. Yeah.
So, Sarah and Jennifer, when you first got the script, what stood out to you is like that you got excited for when you went to audition, or you're like, yes, I have to be a part of this? What stood out in there?
I don't remember if we got to see any of the script before
I
we
don't
went to
think
the
this
auditions.
was
No?
done when you
Oh,
went to the audition. We were still writing the script when they were
oh,
auditioning.
that's
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
just got it that day.
so,
And but I
mhm,
but I remember really thinking that I got to audition with probably 2 or 3 different people, and all of
mhm,
the scenes were really fun.
yeah,
So it was like, "Oh, there's good nuggets in here of,
mhm,
Yeah.
like, something that would be fun." And then when we got cast, it was probably, like, another month or so before we actually headed down to Aledo, and
Mm.
I
oh,
don't think we saw the script until a couple days before we left.
so you just
Yeah.
had
Um,
an
It
idea
was
of
so
what these characters were, who these you just had ideas of who these characters were.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I started getting really excited in the audition, I think I was saying it earlier, but more importantly because there was a lot of people that were going in and out of the room, and there were a lot of people that were really trying to be funny, and they were
Yeah.
taking this into a place that I thought
Mhm,
was missing what the heart of the story
yeah.
is, which is that these two women love each other
Mhm,
and are family. Like
yeah.
they've lost each other and they need to
Yeah.
find
Mhm,
each other again to be
yeah.
able to be whole. And so even though there's funny, and I'm a comedian, right? And so I
Right.
love those kind of characters because
Mhm,
life is funny until it's not. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
life is messy and we're all flawed. And
Mhm,
so being able to tap into that, Jennifer was like so game in the room. And so we were
mhm,
playing, and so no fight ever went into full anger, and no scene went into
mhm,
full like farce. It was this wonderful balance of
yeah.
realism, natural
Yeah.
realism.
Reality. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and earnest believability that I love. And so I was really, really wanting it. And so when I got it, I was
Mhm,
thrilled. And then coming, like I said, coming a couple days later, it was very similar to the character. She had already ingratiated herself in the town.
yeah.
Everybody knew her. The senior center loved
That
her. They'd made
fits.
pies together.
Yeah.
I,
I love
and I
that.
came in and they're like, "Oh, gags."
Who's
And I'm wearing
this?
all these
Yeah.
outfits, right? Like at first meeting, they're like, "Who is this person?" I'm like, "Hello." And so it
Right.
really kind of played into the whole atmosphere. It was great.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Reality becoming fiction.
Correct.
That's pretty
Right.
amazing.
Yeah.
So Bethany, you're finally sitting down, you're getting ready to film everything. In the back of your head, we all have inspiration. What kind of films and filmmakers were an influence for you when going into to when you're gonna say action that first time? What did you have a template in your head of like
Kind of no. I mean, like, I knew what I wanted the tone of the movie to
Mhm.
be. I don't know if there was any movie specifically I was referencing. There was, like,
Yeah.
the Cruise the Loop scene,
Mhm.
I had Edgar Wright in the back of my mind and
Oh,
his, like, comedic timing.
yeah.
I think I was thinking mainly about the edit, and how I wanted the edit to turn out because I have a very
Mhm.
specific editing style, and I ended up cutting the movie as well, so it was more like I kind of like the idea of, like, each scene be feeling as free as possible, feeling as
Mhm.
real as possible, but then, like, hacking it with a machete,
Yeah.
kind of, and, like,
Taking the
so the whole
pieces.
thing, like,
Yeah.
moves, and it never feels
Mhm.
like it's dragging at all,
Yeah.
and so I guess in my head, I was, like, approaching each of these scenes with, like, knowing the points that I had to hit, trying to make
Mhm.
it as funny as possible
Yeah.
because, and, like, feeling free to, like, find the funny and find those funny moments,
Mhm.
because I knew that, like, inherently the story isn't really funny.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like we had to find, like, the funny stuff. So it was like my goal, tonally was to, like, hone in on the funny stuff and then let Jennifer and, Sarah just inject joy into it and in their
Mhm.
performances, and then at the end, cut it together in a way that was, like, really quick and sharp, and to me, that was going to be the tone.
Mhm.
And, like, there was a few things I referenced, but honestly, like, they were more just, like, for visuals,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and, like, for just thinking about how Susie's character would work in it, but, yeah, it was mainly just kind of, like, going with the flow and
Yeah.
finding the tone as we went.
Your your editing makes that scene funnier. And it's a
Mhm.
funny scene. The both the performances are great, but those jump cut edits are what my wife and I laughed at the most.
Can I also
But
say
it's a
that
great
there
job.
there was something so engaging about the fact that it was about a friendship at this age,
Yeah.
right? And that was what was the core thing about this story. It
Yeah.
wasn't about Lucy. It wasn't about you don't meet my husbands. We don't
Mhm.
meet
No.
any of that. It really is about these two women, and we hear about those. Those are peripheral things
Mhm.
that are happening, but they're not about what's happening.
Right.
Right.
And that was so attractive to be a
Yeah.
part of.
Yeah,
And
because
then
you can develop a fully round character. I don't
Mhm.
know very much about Bob. I know a little bit about Bob. Is the
Right.
greatest
Right.
sheriff town's ever seen.
Mhm.
I know that
Yeah.
Gabby's ex-husband, his third ex-husband, is kind of a jerk and obviously doesn't think that she can do anything on her own. And that's
Yeah.
really all I need to know. It's what
Yeah.
affects those
Right.
characters
Mhm.
the most. I
Yep.
think that's
Yep.
really smart. It gives you
Yeah.
some depth.
And
And it's all just like the stuff that kind of brings them together. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's sort of like things that have happened to them in the past, but everything that's surrounding them and their friendship is kind of like fades away a little
Yeah.
bit because it
Yeah.
is really more about like them and the romance of their friendship,
Yeah.
and everything that's brought them to this moment. Because in my head, like these two characters are soulmates in a way, like
Yeah.
friendship soulmates that are sort of like
Completely.
destined to be together. And I
Mhm.
was saying this earlier today, but like some of the like things we referenced were like rom-coms,
Mhm.
and like following the beats of those stories. And
Yeah.
in my head, this is kind of like a friendship romance, but
Mhm.
not like it's not like weird
Well,
though.
no,
Right.
but it's guys get a title, they call it a bromance, but that's what
Yeah.
this is. This is the
It adds
sisterly
the heart.
version of that, and I
That's how
love
you get
that.
the heart out of this whole
Yeah.
thing. That's why I care about the characters, is because I understand and recognize that. It's a really
Mhm.
solid job performing it that way, and also the way
Yeah.
it's written and put together,
And
Bethany. Like
and
it comes
Bethany, you
through.
mentioned real briefly there in the Cruise in the Loop, Suzy Boggess, the music. Did she write all the music, or
Yeah. So
so?
she wrote the first song, she wrote I think total of three originals by her.
Mhm.
Little Old Aledo, Cruise in the Loop, and then Paint the Town Blue, which
Mhm.
is we were called the Sad Brenda song. And then all the other ones are traditional folk
Yeah.
music
Mhm.
that she recorded and had
Yeah.
it's part of another album that she recorded a while ago.
No,
And those are all like the songs are public domain technically.
gotcha.
So we had access to those and then these
Mhm.
original
Yeah.
songs that
No,
we
that song in
captured and
Cruise in
made.
the Loop, it's amazing how the editing and the song, everything she's
Yeah.
singing about is what you're driving by. Everything
Yeah.
matches up so well, and the song fits the tone of the scene
It's like a
when
score.
yeah,
It plays more like a score
it
than a
does. And
standalone piece of
yeah.
music.
And then especially in that first time around when Gabby kind of just kidnapped Brenda, like, "We're doing this, let's go." And that's great.
Not kind of, she did.
She
She
did, she
did.
did.
And it was so hot. It was so hot that
It
day.
was
Oh my
It was
God, it was so hot in that car.
it was
Oh no.
105,000 degrees.
Oh no.
and and that
Those
car, there's
the poor crew in the sun trying to
yeah,
get us in that car. Oh, I
and
felt
If
that
you
so
look
car,
bad.
there's something
carefully, you
funny
can
about that
see in
car.
her sunglasses and
Mhm.
Jennifer's sunglasses in that scene, you can see Julia, our cinematographer,
Yeah.
with a umbrella, holding an umbrella because it
Trying to
was
stay out
so
of the sun.
hot
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the sun was beating down. It's like a bright teal umbrella.
Right.
Just
Spoiler.
Rhubarb
oh,
festival
little
time.
Easter egg.
I
Easter
love it.
egg.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whose car was that? Was
Whose
that
car was
car
that? Was that
Oh,
it?
is that's just such a random, like, I feel Dave and I would have seen that car all the time
what was
in
his
when
name?
we were growing up in
Randy?
Oregon, like, it's
Was it
just a
Randy?
It's the town
that's just it.
and Brenda's character very, very well.
Mhm.
But
No,
we sourced that like there was this guy who was kind of like our town liaison and everything we needed, he was like, "Yep, I got you." And we were like, "We need a car." And he
Did he
got us a car.
did he work at the gas station also? I'm just
I
with the
kidding.
don't
mayor.
I don't think so. But maybe he doesn't
No,
have.
but the car, this was hilarious. The car was stick shift,
Oh,
and
Uh-huh.
I I drive stick shift. I had to learn stick shift when I was growing up,
yeah.
and nobody on the crew drove stick shift,
Oh, that's
and I wasn't allowed, according to
Really?
Screen Actors Guild. You're not
oh,
allowed to have the actor drive whatever, and it was just
Yeah.
like,
mhm.
well, what are
And
we
she
gonna do? We're in
had
the
the
middle of some
kid.
tiny town in Ohio. Who cares who drives the car? So I drove the
Yeah.
car.
That's awesome.
No, cut that. She did not.
No,
She did not do the it's
no,
CGI.
it didn't
It's
happen.
Oh, post-production
She
work.
taught someone how to drive the car.
Mhm.
That's I
No,
love
I taught,
it was
yes, I
Yeah.
taught someone
very
to
impressive,
shift.
that is
but
awesome.
for legal reasons, she never
She
touched that car.
never. No. She was being towed the whole time.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
manual transmissions aren't really a thing anymore, right? Like, I don't think a lot of
No.
people
I guess
outside of
not.
sports cars and everything else, which
Yeah.
I also learned on a manual transmission. So,
Same. We
I
both
don't know.
different world back then. In the 80s and 90s, we lived in a different place. So
Totally.
this movie,
Well, that was cool too. I
Mhm.
remember. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. What were you? This is about you. Go for it. What did you remember?
I just remember having a conversation with Sarah one of the days that we were
Uh-huh.
out. I can't remember. It was we were out around the pool. Oh, by the we were by the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, and we were
Yeah.
looking around, and there were kids that were out on their bikes playing and having fun, and
Wow.
not getting home till dusk or whatever.
Mhm.
And they weren't on their phones, and we were just both noticing, like, boy, you never really see this anymore. These
Yeah.
kids are just out on their bikes and playing, and it was
Like we
such a
were when we
joy
were
to
kids.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same with
Mhm.
me. It does
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
happen
it
where I
felt very
live.
nostalgic. It felt
Yeah.
very
Mhm.
nostalgic, and it also felt a little nefarious. Like,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Yeah, they're casing their production. Like, those are some nice cameras.
No, because I know when I was that age, if I was out at 9:30, I was going to
That's
break
true.
into the pool. Like, I
Yeah.
was
Right.
not going to be
Right.
doing something good.
I was looking for a
Because
place
I
to
was
smoke
like,
weed or drink some beer or something.
well,
Yeah.
right. Like, I mean,
But
they're 14, 15, and there's like this bunch of kids just going by on bikes. And you're like, you're going to do something. You're going to do
Yeah.
something. Have
That-
fun.
That does sound suspect. I agree with you.
it does a little. It does.
In the best way, because we grew up then, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we had our aunts all around, or uncles all around the block, who made sure that we were safe, but we felt
Yeah.
like we had nobody watching us.
Mhm.
And that's how you
Yeah.
feel in these small towns,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody's watching, so that you can feel safe enough to feel like nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Mhm. What
Brilliantly said.
and that
Yeah.
makes me
Very
wonder.
well.
I always come back to this. I don't know why it is, but maybe you guys have some insight. Why do small town stories like this resonate so much with people? Not everyone grew up in a small town, but I think we all love a good small town story.
Long for it.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a longing for that, like
Mhm.
the small
I also
town vibe that everyone's your friend and you're safe wherever you go. I don't know.
What do you think, Bethany? Why
Yeah.
is that such a relatable thing to people who don't actually have that as an experience in their life? Like,
Well, I mean, I think you kind of hit on something there, Josh, where it's like, oh, yeah, it could just be people longing for that sense of security and safety. But I
Mhm.
also think a lot of the time, small town stories are stories about home. And I think that's something everybody can relate to.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something really appealing about kind of what Sarah's saying too, where it's like just everything's kind of on display a little bit, you
Mhm.
know. The story's kind of all there.
Right.
Everybody knows each other, and that kind of creates interesting character dynamics. Like I
Mhm.
just watched the movie The Burbs because
Yeah.
Peacock recommended it to me because I guess
Yeah.
now they have a
The show.
new
TV
show.
show, yeah.
So I'm very like duped by that. I was like, oh man, I thought that they just thought I would like it. But really, that is kind of a small town story,
Mhm.
even though it's
Absolutely.
the suburbs. It's like a
Mhm.
very small community. So I think it's just something people relate to.
And
Yeah.
what can be really lovely to some can be suffocating to others, which is
Mhm.
why
Yeah.
Gabby left,
Yeah.
right? And so that's
Mhm.
also relatable. That
Mhm.
feeling of like, because everybody knows absolutely everything about you, they're
Mhm.
assuming you never get to change, you never get to
Yeah.
grow, you never get to do anything other than
Mhm.
what you did, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes leaving is the only way to be able to become.
Who you
And
Who
so
you
yeah.
really
those
are. Yeah.
yeah.
So I want to go back to Suzy Boggess real quick. That last scene with her when the guy when they just want an ice cream and she's like, oh crap, and she has to put that to me because it was just out of nowhere. That is my favorite kind of joke. That it was totally unexpected. Now she's
Who
the
is
ice
that guy?
cream.
Who's the
That's
guy who
her,
asked for the ice cream?
that's her son. That's Susie's son.
Oh,
Ben.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once
Okay.
again, it was just like we were finding whoever was nearby and grabbing them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
you
was
know,
awesome.
it was so funny.
Yeah,
I
I
love
played really well. What was did you always intend on having her as a narrator to kind of help introduce characters and get through all the exposition. Like it's a very Big Lebowski,
Yes.
style. And I don't know, it was it a I don't want to say it's the wrong way, a financially feasible way to do it without having to do a lot of backstory and intro work, or was it more of a creative choice?
Yeah, it was more just like a creative stylistic choice where
Yeah.
it was like we knew we had her and we knew we had access to her music and potentially she would write an original song. So it was kind of like, what is the most interesting way to do that? And I think there was this thing of like, okay, what can we do that's interesting stylistically with a small budget? And this was one of those things. The interesting editing was one of those things. Like,
Mhm.
it's kind of like playing this game of like, how interesting can we get without spending a ton of money? And
Yeah.
that's just like a stylistic choice where you're like, it brings a certain like tone to it, a comedic tone, a certain like levity, I
Yeah.
think, that this movie needed, because sometimes I feel like indie films can get really heavy,
Mhm.
especially when they're talking about like friendship and um like older women, and it's like these people's lives aren't sad.
No.
Like they're full of
Mhm.
joy and
Yeah.
like it's funny, and I think like just introducing the movie with that kind of unseriousness but also
Mhm.
thoughtfulness is kind
Yeah.
of something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to keep that tone throughout the whole thing
Yeah.
too.
It creates like a the legend of Gabby kind of thing too when
Mhm.
Right.
she's brought into the town. So
Yeah.
as people are
Yeah.
speaking about her, telling stories about her, which I think helps.
Mhm.
Totally, because it's also that thing of like when people leave a town, everybody talks about them and they become bigger
Yeah.
than they are.
They
Yeah.
mythologize.
The
Yeah.
legend
Exactly.
of, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Which
I
was
think
what was so fun about at the same time at the ice cream, seeing those kids who have
Mhm.
no idea who I am, like who
Yeah.
have no
Yeah.
idea. Like that was probably my favorite scene. One of
That's
my favorites is that interaction.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, of who was,
Mhm.
around to be in that scene, just
Yeah.
like that was just so random
Who's
that
who's
day,
there?
that shoot.
yeah. We just also that girl, well, one of them is her name is Lucy, not to be
Yeah,
Yeah.
confused with the
yeah.
character. And she was she did the slate for us.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um and she's a friend of Christina's. And then or the daughter of one of Christina's friend and also her friend. But and then the other girl we met when we were doing the rhubarb fest scene.
Yeah.
So like you would meet people and be like, "Do you want to be in the movie later? We need somebody."
Yeah. We need a body.
Yeah, we need a
You
body.
you're playing darts. Come on over here. We gotta
Yep.
talk to you
Exactly.
You're
about
up
something.
next.
Buy them a drink
Hey,
and
you drive a motorcycle. You want to get kissed in an alley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Motorcycle Man. Sorry,
motor-
Motorcycle Man actually is an actor and
I'm just
filmmaker.
yeah.
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 Sorry, I just want to
No.
give him credit.
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Mossman,
Yeah.
incredible actor,
That's
filmmaker,
awesome. I loved it.
and the one guy I know who owns a motorcycle.
Also helps.
Yeah. So I got to ask Jennifer, in you play a lot of skip bow. Were you really playing or were you just holding cards? In the
Oh my
scene,
God, you know the game?
my wife and daughters, I have 3 grown daughters, and whenever they come home, that's like the go-to game with my wife and them. So I know that, yes, I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
They taught me that game that day, and I was like, "This is the best game ever. I loved it."
I was gonna say, I feel like we have so much footage of them just teaching you how to play that, Jennifer.
It was so fun.
Do a whole
I
sequel, a
wanna
whole
see
second
that.
movie.
Right. Skip Bow the
Brenda
movie.
learns cards.
Fun with Canasta and Skip Bow.
Blu-ray,
I love it.
Blu-ray extras.
The Blu-ray
Yeah.
extras, you got it. So, Bethany, what was for you with all of this? What was the biggest challenge in making the movie? Was it gathering all the different, filling in missing characters, or was there one thing that was the most difficult?
I mean, I think the most difficult thing was just the logistics of shooting things with no budget and lighting. Just that stuff.
Yeah.
No, I think it was like there were certain scenes that were very difficult logistically.
Mhm.
And it was just like a lot of kind of blocking, which maybe seems invisible, but like the pool scene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was like the blocking of like they have their mics in, but we want to get them in the pool, and like
Yeah.
also they're undressing, but they have mics on, and like
Mhm.
cutting that and planning to cut it, and like that like I watch it now and I'm like, nobody would know how
Yeah.
complicated this was to plan and shoot.
Right.
And same with the crash in the rhubarb stage. So I think stuff like that, where it was just like logistically challenging, that was hard. But I think, I mean, other than that, like, it was just kind of like the pace that we were working at was hard.
Yeah.
It was like kind of a breakneck fast shoot.
How many days
How
did
long?
you yeah.
I think
That's my question.
14 days total.
Wow,
Oh,
that is
yes.
fast.
Like the most of it was in like 10 to 12 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Two of
then
two of the days
reshoots.
Yeah. We had one reshoot, scene. We reshot the pool scene.
Which was
For-
Because they
wild
went in with their mics on, I assume.
Yeah, they electrocuted themselves.
Lost a couple of labs that day.
Yeah,
Well,
lots of yes.
Jennifer and Sarah, what was the funniest moment on set for both of you? Jennifer first.
pool.
You want to go first?
Oh my
The pool.
gosh.
I
The
think
pool.
for me. The pool was ridiculous. That whole day was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. The scene when we were trying to make the people at the bar laugh with just different stuff, like what I invented and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We just kept trying different things. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I also
Uh,
loved
Jennifer, do you-
anything on a golf cart.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
the golf cart. God bless the golf
Who doesn't
cart.
want to drive a golf cart around the small town?
That was
Come
so
on.
fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jennifer, do you beatbox all the time, or is it just in this movie? 'Cause you do
Just in
that-
this
just-
movie. I
okay,
think
just
that was
curious.
apparent.
You didn't take lessons leading. You didn't do 6 weeks of beatbox training before the.
No. I have copied that, and I find myself, as people walk by and people watching, I do a little bit of that. You know,
Mhm.
it stuck with me.
Yeah, that's
My
how they walk.
my college boyfriend recently saw the film and said about that scene. He said he thought that was quintessential Jennifer. And I was like,
That's
really?
awesome.
Is that a good thing? What do you mean by that? It's a backhanded compliment.
What do
Right.
you mean by that?
All right. So, sorry, I can't. My microphone keeps sliding in closer to me. I don't think it's very tight. Bethany, with this, where do you go from here? Do you have another project lined up? Anything you're working on, or do you have?
Yeah, I'm always working on stuff.
Yeah.
Right now I'm working on as an associate producer working on the show The Bear. And that's been very fun and
Yeah.
interesting and cool. And before that, I honestly took some time and just worked in advertising for a little bit,
Mhm.
wrote some stuff for the big corporations.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a few things that I'm working on right now. It's too early to talk about
Sure.
them. But you know, always got some
Always some-
projects in the
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Yeah. How about Sarah, Jennifer? Do you guys have any? Like, actually, I wanted to, Jennifer. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Looking at your IMDb, did you? So I didn't watch a lot of Law and Order, but did you play Jerry Orbach's daughter for several episodes? Was that your
I
character?
did.
That is so. Dave
Yeah,
Dave
it was
brought that
his-
up. I saw that you were in there, and he brought that up. I was like, that is awesome because Jerry Orbach is hilarious.
Personally, I like the Conan O'Brien sketches. That
yeah.
that I
Oh,
watched.
thank you.
Destructo.
Those look like fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Destructo. I married the masturbating bear.
Oh,
I don't know if you can say that on here.
yes, you're
Yeah.
totally fine.
Thank you.
If you're okay with it, we are.
Congratulations.
I love that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is hilarious. And Sarah, I got to ask you. I know you do a lot of comedy. You have your YouTube show.
My wife's a huge fan, by the way.
Yes.
Now, especially
Thank
of
you.
the Corey and Sarah are famous.
Thank
And
you.
She watched like 4.5 hours of them yesterday, and she's been telling all of her friends. So they're really
That
great. By the way. So
started-
good job on those.
Thank you. That started because she's kind of my work wife. We've written 6 plays together, and she started doing that because I drove her everywhere. She didn't have her license until maybe last year, and so I would drive her everywhere. So she just started asking random questions and recording it to see what would
Mhm.
happen because she always loved the whatever I would say, and
Yeah.
because and that was how Get in the Car started. And so when we were thinking about doing our web series, we went back and forth on a lot of different things and tried to put a hat on a hat, and then kind of went back to what we started with, and we thought, what if we take some of these
What
things that
works?
happen to us in real time and blow it out and put in, wipes that go to cartoon versions of us and have friends be, voiceovers and really kind of showcase Chicago
awesome.
talent and what it takes to really collaborate in a room, kind of like what we did here.
Yeah.
So I loved doing that. So I'm so thankful
that's
that you
awesome.
said that. Thank you.
They're fun, and you
Yeah,
have a really great voice, and I'm happy that you're out there doing them. So
And
Thank
I
you.
gotta say,
I'll
I
let Corey
love the
know.
Mad
She'll love it.
Scientist
And
Consortium.
yeah,
I was a big
the
fan of
Mad
the Mad
Scientist
Scientist
Consortium was so
Consortium.
fun.
Those were
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh.
That was
I did
so
watch
funny.
that too. Yeah.
And then
That's a long time ago.
Jennifer,
Oh my
when I
goodness.
was going through I was trying to find funny, but holy cow, you have some really dramatic stuff out there. I watched a short film about execution.
Yeah, the
And
execution
yeah,
film.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
That
but
was
it's amazing. But there is one, I only saw a clip, and it's actually on your personal YouTube. It was you, and I'm assuming the character's your daughter, and you're just having this emotional thing, and she wants, do you want a friend? Are you okay? Like, where do I find that that film? Whatever, blood, something about
That
blood.
is Blood Below the Skin.
Yeah.
It's by Jennifer Reeder. I got to do 2 films with her. She's a fantastic director, Chicago. And the first film I did with her
A Million Miles
actually
Away.
ended up going to Sundance. And then we did another short film a couple times later. But I think actually on my website, I think I linked them to the full versions.
All right, I'm gonna have, because just
Yeah, I'll
watching
check
that
those out.
one little scene, I got
Yeah, it was
emotional
also-
just watching it.
It was also A Million Miles Away, I think, was the
A
other
Million
one.
Miles Away. Yeah, sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
say the title. That was the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she's brilliant, and it was just a joy to get to work with her. And I also want to say before we lose it, Sarah is about to be in a feature film that's coming out at
Ooh.
South by Southwest, right, Sarah?
Wow.
Correct.
Yeah.
Called Chili Finger.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Very exciting.
The world premieres next month, March 14th, at South by Southwest. So
That's
we're very
amazing.
excited.
Yeah. Chili Finger. I just added it to my watch list so I can keep an eye out for it. March
Oh, good.
14th of
Please do. I'm at
2026
no
is when it's
spoilers. I
supposed
can't
to
do any
release.
spoilers. So yeah. But
That's
there's a lot.
all right. I'm
of
just gonna add it to my list to check out.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Well, the last thing that we have is just kind of the silly segment. We call it the hot seat. Normally, I have a little sound effect here that drives Dave absolutely insane
I
because
told him not to. We don't want to do sound
but
effects.
I accidentally deleted it, so I don't have it anymore.
Good.
I
I deleted it for you.
So what I have is, it's just 10 quick questions, and each of you can respond. So first, what's one scene in the film that changed most from script to screen?
Bethany.
Definitely the senior center, the very first scene at the senior center, where they're talking about, they're like, she's sweeping the floor and stuff.
Mhm.
That was completely different.
Yeah.
Okay. The Elizabeth Taylor ones.
Yes.
The lines about the
Yeah, in the
marriages.
sense that like none of that is scripted. I would say a lot of the movie we had like scripts to work off of. That scene we didn't, and I was like, so we're gonna need to not do that again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it. You need more
Yeah.
natural, right?
Yeah.
You need it to play a
Yes,
little bit
yes,
more
yes.
organically. I get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which moment in the film hits differently for you guys now than it did when you were filming it? Did you think about something in one way as you're filming it, and then now you see it, and you're like, oh, I like that? Or
It was 3 years ago too.
I know,
Yeah.
I didn't realize I write these in a daze.
Okay, I do have one, but it's not. It's a little bit different. The scene where Brenda is running after she crashes the stage, and then
Mhm.
it cuts to her and Motorcycle Man in the alley.
Yeah.
That cut kind of wasn't planned, but it's like she's running, and then we just hear Brenda, and we like L cut to she's already in the alley.
Mhm.
It's like the voice kind of takes us there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kind of like was not planned to be that way, and then we
Mhm.
cut it that way, and I was like,
Oh.
"That's so cool. We're keeping that."
It works
I
better.
love that.
Yeah, there's stuff like
The
that
whole
where it's like,
jail
oh, there
scene
was like
for
little
me.
happy.
The whole jail scene for me
Oh,
in my head and
mhm.
what we did were so different because you didn't know what it was going to look like until you saw it, and
Sure.
then there were so many ideas that happened because of where we were. I mean, it was such a delicious room. You can't you know, you can't pre-plan that. So that for me
I
was
think
my
there
scene.
were some lines about one of you running for sheriff, possibly, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
which I think is
When they
great.
run for sure, they can make the town nudist if they like.
Mhm.
I
The
love
scene, the scene, that
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
scene I do with Eddie sitting on the stoop,
Mhm.
came out really lovely. I think even more lovely than I would have expected. Just as far as like the sense of really both of us missing
Yeah.
her
Yeah,
Mhm.
really came through, and I was real happy
Yeah.
with that when I saw it.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
it's a good scene. It's the heart of the scene. It's the turning point for the Brenda character to realize
Mhm.
she doesn't know Gabby like she thinks she does. I think.
Yeah. So
I
if you were
screwed
going to
up.
do a double feature pairing with this movie, what movie would you pair with this?
Terms of endearment.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers is better.
Yeah,
I was kidding. Terms of endearment.
Sophie's choice. No.
Right. I was like, that's good. Real. Yeah. Thank you for going with me, Dave. Yeah. No, Blues Brothers is much better.
Yeah.
They balance each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. If you had to describe the movie in 3 words, what are they?
Uh,
Yeah, go
funny,
fly.
small town, women.
I like it.
Small town's hyphenated.
Yeah, I was
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, small town is, you just say it really fast. Small
Yeah.
town.
Just no space there. Keep them together.
There you go.
I love it. So little film taste focus. What's a comfort movie each of you could watch endlessly?
Bethany.
The Holiday by Nancy Myers.
Huh? What's that,
Did
Sarah?
you
Yeah.
say The Outsiders?
I
did.
By the way?
With
Yeah.
Rob Lowe.
Rob, yeah, Tom
With
Cruise.
all of them.
Yeah,
Like, I
huge
mean, that
cast
was
of
such a
people.
turning point in my
Soda Pop,
life.
Boy.
Like,
Yeah.
I watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just really kind of resonates, this turning point where everything's in front of them and you have all this hope and then
Yeah.
things happen, right? So and I read the book first and I was, that was when I was
Mhm.
that age looking forward in my life. And
Yeah.
so The Outsiders, even though it's kind of sad, and he says stay gold and does the poem and there's that light behind him, I'm like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
C. Thomas Howell, stay gold, boy,
Yeah.
I
boy.
love it. I love
God
it.
love Coppola.
Yep.
A Star is Born with Judy Garland.
Oh,
Oh,
the
good
Garland
one.
version. I
That's
love
a good
it.
one.
I love it.
Mrs. Norman Maine.
All right. So what's an underrated film that you'll defend forever?
The Outsiders.
Underrated film.
Newsies.
Oh.
Newsies.
Yeah.
Ah.
I just
I
got to
love
see
Newsies.
I just
Is
got
it
to see a
good?
stage
I haven't seen it since I
musical.
was much younger, so I'd have to
Everybody,
check it out again.
everybody rags on Newsies. It's a good movie.
Okay.
I saw it in a
Brad-
tiny little town that I was doing a theater gig in, and it was a Mennonite town, and it was my one day to get away and see something that
Yeah.
was mechanical.
I was
I
going to
saw
say, a
Newsies.
Mennonite town. How do they project a movie in a Mennonite
I had to
theater?
drive 45 minutes.
They're just hand drawing everything.
Because right,
Like
and in this
candlelight.
scene,
Yeah.
I love it.
They're just describing it to you. Sorry. I
Yeah,
digress.
please apologize. Please apologize for joking around.
So what was the movie that made you want to get into film in the first place? Or that want to be an actor, actress, director, writer?
Oh, man.
it was just
West Side
Carol
Story.
Burnett.
Oh,
Oh.
Good one.
Good one.
Carol Burnett.
Just Carol Burnett on television.
Burnett.
Like I was more into I was
Yeah.
I was so influenced by, I mean, yes, there was Singing in the Rain and there was Wizard of Oz and there was and then there was Judy,
Mhm.
there was watching
Sure.
Julie Andrews and Sound of Music. Like you watched when you were a kid, but like
Yeah.
it was watching the Carol Burnett hour and watching those actors
Yeah.
make each other laugh. That was
Yeah.
where I was like, how do I do that? How do I do that?
Freedom to be funny and all the other
Mhm.
things that went along
For
with it.
sure.
Yeah.
She's so
Genius.
good.
What about you, Bethany?
I think this is a real downer of an answer, but I think The Virgin Suicides,
Oh,
maybe.
okay. Coppola's
It was
film.
kind of
Sophia's
yeah.
movie, yeah.
Sophia, yeah.
Mhm. It was the first movie I saw where I was like, I didn't know you could make movies like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
Like,
standalone. Yeah, it's its own
right,
thing.
right. Well, and also like I was just like watching, like kids movies for a
Mhm.
long time and like kind of like not great movies, and then this movie was like very
Yeah.
funny and dark and artistic and like
Mhm.
very different from anything I was ever exposed to. So I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, it's a good
All right.
movie. I like it too.
Yeah. All right, last one. What's a film opinion that would get you kicked off the Couch Critics? Just kidding. Just what's a bold a bold opinion that's maybe not universal?
Like a hot film take.
Yeah, hot take.
Man, I don't
Do I
want to
have
say.
any?
Yeah.
I know.
So that's
Um,
it's a hard one.
I would say, just as an example, I famously always say I'm not a huge fan of Game of Thrones or Star Wars. And,
Mhm.
since
Oh.
that's pretty much what people are always wanting to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of people give me some shade because of that, but
Right.
I've never seen
that's
Breaking
just me.
Bad.
Oh,
oh,
that is bold.
That's a good
And
show.
I know I
It's a-
will,
but
but
it's
I
not
still
for
haven't.
everybody.
And the more
Yeah,
people
yeah.
tell me to see it,
Yeah.
the less
Wait
it
a
goes
minute,
down
and
on
you
my
just
list.
worked with Bryan Cranston?
I know I
Yeah.
You
did.
worked with
And I
Bryan
know I'm
Cranston
going to
and you
see
didn't
it,
watch
but
the
like
show?
when it came out, it was like, oh my God, everybody's so mean and I mean, they're doing such great
No.
work, but I
Yeah,
just
it's
needed like
brutal.
happiness at the time. So it
Sure.
just, but I'll go
Yeah, oh,
back.
yeah,
Of course
I
I'm going
get
to go
it.
back. It's brilliant, but no,
Yeah.
don't
okay.
kick
I've
me
never
off.
seen The Breakfast Club.
You've
Wow.
never seen The Breakfast
Breakfast
Club?
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
worse. That's
That's
worse.
seminal. We
Yeah,
need
that
to
one
watch
I
that
that's
was,
one. Yeah.
universal, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. I love it. I love it.
I
Well,
don't like Christopher Nolan movies that much.
I
Okay.
He's from
I
Evan.
They're a
find
little
that
long. They're a little
I'm
long-winded.
I
I
just
I'm
know.
with
don't.
you, Bethany.
Yeah.
His later stuff feels pretentious
He's
to
our
me.
next guest, so now he's not going to come
Oh
on, I guess.
shoot. Well, don't tell him I
Yeah.
said that. Don't tell him I
No,
said that.
I
Tell him I'm
get
a
it.
big fan.
No, I get it. I get it. That's awesome. Well,
I mean, you have
everyone, thank
confidence,
you
Bethany,
so
and that's what I
much,
love about
Bethany,
you.
Sarah, Jennifer.
Yeah, exactly. Keep your opinion out there. You got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't
You
like
guys
Lord of the
wanted a hot
Rings.
take.
Yeah. So we all have them. We all have them. It's all right. We love it. So that's going to wrap up Couch Critics for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us and letting us watch this amazing movie. I can't say enough about how much Dave and I both loved watching it. We watched it with our wives. Yeah, it was such a.
I
It's
watched it twice in the last
yeah.
few weeks.
Yeah, it's
I watched the screener. Thank you for sending that.
yes.
And then I bought it on Prime, which, by the way, they're edited differently. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh,
But
they
Really?
edited really?
yeah, there's some stuff
Did not know
missing
that.
from the Prime one. But I'm not here to get into all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
No, that's good to know.
I think the best part about Belle and I call him Belle, but Josh and I doing this show is we get to introduce ourselves, or people get to bring on things and we get to check out that I probably wouldn't have. It would have
Right.
gone under my radar, and I'm glad that you guys
Yeah.
made it. It's a great film. My wife and I loved it. Again, I've
Thank
seen it twice in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I do love it. And I adore the character so much.
Yeah.
So
And
great
I
job.
like that
Thank
it
you.
goes
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that old
thank you.
adage that you can never go home, I think this proves that wrong.
Yeah.
You can go home. It's just going to be different. So I love it.
With the bucket
true.
list. That's all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just yes, that was the book. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much. And that is going to end this episode of Couch Critics alongside Sarah, Bethany, Jennifer, and Dave. I am Josh, and if check us out on all of the socials. We are Couch Critics RRT on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok. Email us therealrealtalk@gmail.com. And Dave, how are we going to close out today?
Thank you everybody for being here. This was Couch Critics. Thanks all for listening. It's a great movie. Check out everything fun you could possibly do in Aledo, Illinois. It is on Prime, and hopefully it's going to be everywhere, and you can buy DVDs and stuff shortly. Great movie. Thanks again. Watch what you love. Love what you watch.
Because here at the Couch Critics, we're never yucking your yum. Thanks, everybody.
Exactly.